One in the top, you ain't gotta ask that. I be with a cash at, I be with a gang at.
Yo, this is TJ from Northern Comeups, and today we're going to present Charge It to the Game by Bandz, a 17-track album released November 18th, 2022. This is my first time hearing the name Bandz, so before hopping right into the album, I like to get a taste of what the artist is about. So I decided to listen to the top 5 tracks on his Spotify that weren't on the project. So that only ended up being NHN and Riding Through the City. Since I was left wanting a bit more, I decided I'll check out his first project he's ever dropped. This is so I can see what growth Bandz made since the start of his career. His first album, Drugs, released in 2017, had a crazy surprise on the track list. Renowned rap star Gunna is featured on Bandz's first official album release. Originally, I thought it was before Gunna had a lot of clout, but at this time, Gunna already worked with Young Thug, Offset, Playboi Carti, and many other titans of the rap game. The album was great, and Bandz really meshed well with every feature. Gunna was definitely the biggest highlight, but Bandz and Boogs complement each other insanely well. After listening to the album over and over and over again, let's talk about the album and our top 5 tracks from it. Just a heads up for the new viewers, all the songs are scored out of 10 here at Northern Comeups. Ranks from 0 to 3.4 we think are trash. Scores 3.5 to 6.8 are good songs but could be better. And songs 6.9 to 10 are bangers. Alright, starting off at number 5, we got Static, and we ranked that at an 8.5. At number 4, Own It, ranked at an 8.6. I think you should hear the top 3 songs to really see why they deserve the position they got. Coming at number 3, ranking at a solid 8.8, we got Neck on Freeze.
Rolly cold, can't see time, way too many stones. Take your soul, grab this 9 if you playing bold. Hold this blick, empty clips, leave your body cold. Hold this blick, empty clips, leave your body cold.
At number 2, ranking at an impressive 9, we got Home Alone.
Got this Fendi, my money be long. Rockin' this Gucci, that Louis V long. Boy, put 8 and it's 4 in the morning. Feeling like Kevin, always home alone. She ain't got money, the fuck is she on? Ain't got no heart, but I keep me on chrome. Reach for my neck, you get hit in your dome. Clip hole 30, just leave me alone.
Finally, for our top ranked song on the album, ranking at a very impressive 9.3, we chose Benz Coupe.
She in the Benz, cool. That bitch ain't got no roof, she don't do great. Rules, we sippin' on some juice, she wants some new shoes. I bought her Jimmy Choo, I'm in the trap, for real. She know that I'm a Jew.
Okay, now that you know the top 5 songs to check out, let's dig into those 5 songs and really analyze them a little more. The first track I want to talk about is Benz Coupe. The melodic flow on this amazing party beat is meant for the club and has to get you hyped, I don't care who you are. Bandz keeps it extremely entertaining by constantly switching his flow through his short track, making me put this on replay over and over again. This was such an impressive track, showing me Bandz is capable of so much more than I expected. His talent is extreme, and how he's not mainstream already is astonishing me as I listen. He's definitely not saying anything crazy, but this flow switch is one of the few that keeps this track so interesting, since it's always changing. Bandz made something unreal with this beat. Next up, let's tap into Home Alone.
I don't know who to trust, I don't know who to love, I don't know who be real anymore. I don't know who to call, I don't know who to talk to, I don't know anymore.
Bandz is using this track to get all this off his chest. If it wasn't said in his chill, melodic tone, you could take this nearly exact quote from myself when I'm spiraling out having a panic attack. It really connected me with Bandz, feeling like he's someone who could at least understand those feelings from experiencing them himself. It's such an extreme feeling that brings you to these thoughts, and it's scary to get pushed to that point. I hope Bandz is doing okay.
You so paranoid, there's dope on the floor. The plug keep on calling, he say he got more. We ran through the load that we bought the store. All this pain got me staying my zone.
Bandz is trapping so much, he's got the dope hidden everywhere that there's even dope in the floor. The ending of this quote brings it all together. Bandz already has too much, but when the plug is calling, he can't control himself and ends up buying a whole new stash's worth. There's obviously storytelling to rap, but if this is true, the drug world is a scary environment to be around. I hope Bandz stays safe to keep bringing us this heat. Yeah, that was dope, but so is this next song, Neck on Freeze.
My car's at the store, dripping in Paris, shout out to Dior. Caught me a car, you think I'ma give me a new or more? I just bought a chain, could've bought a car.
Bandz is absolutely flexing on us in this track, and rightly so with such a title. Got himself a car and spent just as much on a chain. And even talking about an Audemars is crazy when the cheapest watch clocks in at $20K USD, which happens to be the cost of his pinky ring. Bandz is doing it right, and he's letting us know about it.
All this ice, trying to reach for some, you might lose your life. Private yacht, he ain't caviar, I don't do no fries.
This has become something that's just known with rappers. You don't go for their jewelry or it's gonna cost your life. That's big money, and no one is playing around with stealing that, especially with the added disrespect of trying to take it right off them. It'll be a sad day for someone. Next up, we got Own It.
I got them racks on the table, I'm in the show where I'm stable. They never seen what I've seen, straight out of where I came from. Everybody around me on some, everybody around me want some. I know I got what they need, now they want me cause I'm on now.
Bandz is tired of the judgment he receives because of how much he's really doing compared to all the others in his hometown. He wasn't supposed to make it here. Everybody surrounding him is addicted to something and looking for handouts while he's becoming a self-made man.
They might say a lot of shit, I never fall, everything on me is gold, I'm never selling my soul.
Talking about being self-made, Bandz will never compromise himself because he knows he's destined to make it. I don't lease, bitch, I own it. He doesn't flex the cheap way. Anything he's showing off is rightfully his, and he's proud of that. Think of his success as motivation, that it's an option instead of getting jealous. And last but not least, let's talk about Static.
When I die,
The chorus of this track is unreal. Even though it's just repeating "when I die," the emotion and the way he's singing it makes it the absolute highlight on this track. Also, whatever he's saying in between sounds unreal, even though it's almost gibberish. The high-pitched tones are so pleasing on the ears.
them out gon' run for me, they gon' kill for me. If they don't find you, they gon' slide and kill your family.
Absolutely horrible, but the reality of what happens when it comes to these high-tension clashes. This is a tragic strategy learned from the most dangerous and powerful gangs of all time. The cartels and mafias of the world would always do this, and even way more extreme homicidal acts that are too brutal to even discuss. After taking everything we talked about into account, we ranked this album a 7.9 out of 10. There were only 3 features, leaving Bandz almost solely responsible for this amazing project. Unfortunately, there was one feature who was clearly lacking, or just didn't bring the right energy to collab with Bandz. I found Portion's section in Out the Mud. I never heard him before, but if that's his usual vocals, I don't see a very bright future on these beats. Bandz was so impressive on this album, he's definitely become a statement in my playlists. His lyrical capability doesn't keep him trapped doing specifically melodic flows, even though that's where Bandz is making his money. Bandz is a very complete artist who just needs a chance, and he's gonna explode onto the map. Make sure to check out Charge It to the Game for yourself and form your own opinion. Do you agree with my rankings, or where do you think I went wrong? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for listening to me and tapping into the video. Make sure to follow Northern Comeups on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and all our socials. You can find Bandz and much more talent in our official Northern Comeups playlist. All the links to everything and everyone will be in the description below. My name's TJ, and this is Charge It to the Game by Bandz.
You ain't gotta ask that. I be where the cash at. I be where the gang at. Some are getting cash, some are with the gang. Junkies buying dope, only time I seen the hand.